Hey, welcome back. It's Aria Core Aesthetics, your licensed solo esthetician. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and let's go ahead and get started. Let's be honest, not all beauty providers can start in a suite, and most of us start at home. So I'm going to tell you guys exactly how I ran my business whenever I was home-based. Before we get into this video, make sure you guys subscribe and let's go ahead and get started. As you guys can probably see, you're like, girl, you are definitely not home-based. But I was. About 2 months ago, I was actually a home-based lash artist, and I recently just moved into here. So I wanted to make a video on exactly how to be a home-based lash tech or esthetician, especially whenever you don't know when you'll be able to move into a place. A couple things that I'm going to be going over in this video, so if you have a specific thing that you are looking for, you guys can go ahead and press the tabs and go to that section. I'm going to tell you guys how to pick an aesthetic for your place if you just have a little bit of money or you have a lot of money to whenever you are home based. I'm also going to tell you about how the cleanliness needs to be in your home if you are taking clients, and we're also going to be talking about the safety whenever you are home based and you're having people come to your home. First things first is what people really want to know is like how to make your space aesthetically pleasing whenever you are home based. I will say, since I've moved from home based to in a suite, my clientele has grew a lot because I was no longer home based. Even though my space was really clean, all my clients love my space. I think just people are just uncomfortable coming to home. Some people prefer it, some people don't. I have been to multiple lash artists and brow artists and also like hair and everything at the home. It's definitely a great way for you to save money until you are able to move into a suite. Because if you are a licensed esthetician, you will need to have it under the regulations of your state. I know a lot of states, especially in mine, it tells you that you have to have separate parking, separate entry, and whatever, and majority of us do not have that. So when it comes to picking your aesthetic, make sure that whenever you are buying stuff, even if it's just for your lash place, it's not even for the rest of your room, pick one thing, make it very cohesive. I go to my nail tech, she is home based. She has like this white clean aesthetic to her. It's like, it's not just her area that she has in her room, it's also her desk, it's also her bed, it's also her mirror. Like everything really flows, so like when I come in there, I don't really even feel like I'm in her room. That is the goal of your place. You want to make people feel like they are not even in your room. Feeling like you're in somebody's personal space can be uncomfortable. It's hard to retain clients that way. For my space, in my opinion, how I set it up, and I mean, it wasn't a lot. Like I didn't have like this and other, as you guys can see, but I just added in a little few tweaks and stuff to my room that made it feel like it wasn't like my room. Great thing to do is to go on Pinterest. Pinterest is where you can really get creative. You can really see what you want and you can envision into your suite. So whenever you know you're going to be home based for a while, but you will eventually be moving into a suite, I think it's very key to figure out what you would like in your suite and get partially some of that into your home. Because one thing I took from my home, you guys can't really see in this video, is that I have clouds around the border of the ceiling, and I have that in my room and I brought it into here. It kind of set my brand, so a lot of my stuff is like I have clouds. Like if you look on my Instagram post, I always have like a cloud emoji in there. You can see the clouds in a lot of my stuff, so it just really helps brand and makes it really cohesive. So when you are picking an aesthetic for your home, make sure you have in mind what you would like in the future. Obviously you can always change your mind. You don't have to stick and stay with just one thing, but I think it's very beneficial whenever you are looking for the future, whenever you are home based. Now once you go and see your aesthetic, you obviously don't want to spend a whole bunch of money. Say you just got done with your certification or you just got done with school. So my biggest advice for you to go to is to go to Five Below. I went to Five Below and that was like the best thing to just get some cheap stuff that really helped elevate my space. Or you can go to Dollar Tree as well, like, and thrift stores. So for instance, I highly suggest if you have a lash bed or you're doing facials, have a really cute cover. You can get a really decent cheap one for like $16 from Marshalls or TJ Maxx, or you can just go get them thrifted. I have one cover that I have for thrifted that I'm going to be using for November, and it's perfect because it was only like $3, you know. So definitely use the cheaper resources whenever you are going to decorate your space, and really put in the effort, you know, make it flow. Something that I think helped me a lot is I made it flow within my space. And the next thing that I will say when it comes to your space when decorating, when you start to post and when you are posting, people, if they see that your space looks good, they don't really care that you're home based, because if your space looks clean and it looks nice, they will come because it just looks like that on camera. My final tip for how to get your aesthetic in, how to make it look really nice and cohesive to get clients in, also to just have a nicer space, is to have something that you can put the name of the client on. So I had a little board in my room that I would say, welcome so and so, and I would have the price under it. When I tell you, that was the first thing first, they complimented the ambiance of my room. And then second thing, they complimented the sign, because it was like, that is so nice. I'm like, get something that personalizes it and show that on your Instagram, on your TikTok. When people see that it's personalized, people see that you care, they understand like, okay, right now you can't move into the next spot, but I want to give you a try because you seem like you really, really care about your clients. So for aesthetic things, make sure that you have it cohesive, make sure that it looks really nice. Think about how you would want it whenever you do move into your suite at some point, because you need to carry on and start making a brand for your business. Alrighty, number 2, cleanliness. So this is why I really say, like, if you're gonna do lash extensions, I don't care even if your state doesn't require you to have esthetician license, go get your esthetician license. Reason being, especially if you really do research on the school you want to go to and stuff like that, is because they will teach you sanitation to a T. Like, I remember whenever I was going to school, the first 5 weeks were off of sanitation alone. 5 weeks. I'm gonna tell you guys some really good protocols for keeping your space clean is to make sure that even if you're tired after the client, always clean your space. Always clean it all the way down, disinfect it, make sure you're using barbicide, make sure that you're doing everything that you need to do to make sure that your space looks even like really nice. Make sure like your place is fully vacuumed, this is fully washed. If you have stuff on the walls, make sure that you are wiping that stuff off. The little things count when it comes to cleanliness. The little things count. Always have it to where people can see that you sanitize, if that makes sense. Like, for instance, like my barbicide, like I always had it like in a convenient spot where I could just put it in there after the service or whatever. But like I put it in there, like people could see that barbicide, so I knew like to how to disinfect. They're not gonna wake up with pink eye, you know what I'm saying? Also, make sure your stuff is labeled. Make sure your stuff is labeled. Make sure your stuff is covered. This in general, if you make a little video about it on your Instagram, that will help people be a lot more comfortable with the fact that, okay, she follows protocol. Like, yes, she's at home, but she still follows protocol. It doesn't matter that she's at home. One thing I did is like, I do dishes all the time, you know, whatever. Every time I had a client, I made sure there was no dishes in the sink. I made sure all my countertops, the living room, because I live in an apartment, so countertops, living room, everything, like the floor was freshly vacuumed. I made sure like there was a candle going or air freshener or something. Like, I made sure that even when they first walked in, like a lot of times when my clients walked into my apartment, because we did have to walk to my room, is they were like, oh, it smells great in here. Oh, it looks so cute in here. Like, I know that's based off of just decoration, but it's like still like that's like the preparation. Like, they've become more relaxed the more that you take the time and effort to make them feel relaxed. Make sure that bathroom needs to be spotless. You know, I have clients that come from work or they come from somewhere else and they need to use the bathroom. Like, even offer that, like as soon as they come in, like, hey, do you need to go to the bathroom before we lay down? Because especially when you're doing lash extensions, you should be asking that anyway. Yeah, like just ask them those questions and have that stuff really nice and clean, like the best that you can. I mean, scrub that thing out. Okay, scrub it, because again, you want them to feel like they are not in your home. A subtitle to cleanliness, I feel like it also ties into first impressions when it comes to you and your clients, or even to how you are presenting it on social media, is how you show up. Okay, so I mean, it is really easy to put that bonnet on. It is really easy to put that bonnet on. I'm telling you guys, stop it. I don't care what nobody says. The bonnet doesn't look good. I've always did not like it. I did not like it. I grew up with a mom who, like, oh, you cannot walk outside with a bonnet on. You cannot walk outside with a scarf on unless you're just getting in the car and you just need to lay your stuff down. That's the only time. But as soon as you're about to get in your car and go somewhere, that, like, it needs to be off. I could see even as a child, like, why that doesn't look good. But as an adult, I really see, like, that just looks so unprofessional. I'm not saying you have to just be like full glam, full makeup and everything, because I don't even wear makeup all the time. Stop wearing the bonnets. Stop wearing the scarves. Stop wearing the pajamas. I know that sounds like very rude, like, oh my gosh, like, this is my business, I can do whatever. Cool, do that. But I'm gonna tell you right now, there's a big difference of how people take you seriously based on the way you look. Now, I wouldn't say like I just wore an outfit every single time, but I would have like at least a matching set on, or I had like at least like my hair was done, or I had makeup, or I had my own lashes done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had something to like show, like, okay, like, she looks prepared, like she's prepared for me. Water break. You know, there's some people be like, oh, I don't care, I used to dress da da da. It's a different time. It's harder to get clients now. There's a lot of people who do the same thing. They can find somebody up the street, yada. But if you want to charge your worth, you gotta look your worth. I'm gonna have a whole separate video on that, but make sure that you look your best. And then the last thing I want to talk about is safety. We are having people come to our house. We are not knowing who they are. We are taking a limb out, and especially if you live by yourself, you need to have safety. I ain't gonna lie to you. I always kept a little something by me. Okay? I always kept a little something by me, okay? You never know who you're gonna get. I don't have any horror stories of weird clients. I didn't have like one person I was like, ugh, yes, this really wasn't my vibe. Whatever is your protection, something that you can quickly grab. Second of all, have a consent form. Have a consent form, whether that be electronically or on paper. I use drop form for all of my consent forms. Free. You can make as many consent forms as you need. When you're dealing with somebody and potentially you do something wrong, whatever, and they start to ask for things that you say in your policy you can't have, da 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 da, and they want to take it to court, or they try to come back or something like that, and you have to call the cops, you have something in writing that says they agreed to this. If you are licensed, make sure that license is posted somewhere. If you're not licensed, playing a very tricky game if you are in a state that does not allow that. I don't really know how to help you in that way, but just make sure you have something that is consenting. Don't take anybody under 18. Don't take anybody under 18 when you're at home. When you get out of your home, okay, we can play around. If you are also under 18, that's different, or you're just 18, 19, that's cool. But if you're 20 and above, don't take anybody who is under 18. Protect yourself, especially if you do want to take somebody under 18, make sure you have a parent sign that you can do whatever you want, because you just don't want people to come for you in your business. Of course, you want to get an LLC, this, that, and the third, but you just don't want people coming for your business. So, because you just never know. So let's get into like sending your address out. So I messaged all my clients after they booked. Whenever I was home based, I would let them know you will get the address to your appointment the morning of your appointment. That's it. I wouldn't tell them before, especially if you cannot find them on social media. If you cannot find them on social media, see this is a real person, you see like you get a vibe from this person or whatever, do not send that address out until the day of their appointment, especially if they end up canceling or something like that. There are weird people here. Like, I haven't experienced it, but you cannot be oblivious to things like that. Like, don't give your address out too quickly. Like, for instance, like my apartment complex, like it had a gate. I didn't give that out until literally 15 minutes until their appointment. When I knew they were about to come, that's when I gave them my gate code. For instance, like a lot of us, like we charge a deposit that's non-refundable, or we charge a cancellation fee if they have to cancel the same day. Like, oh yeah, no, I'm not giving you exactly how to get to my apartment. The heck? I would give my gate code and the apartment number 15 minutes before their appointment. As a service provider, you need to be on top of your appointments. You don't need to have people waiting. You don't need to be unprofessional. So you should be able to and have time to send out that address. If you need to set an alarm, because especially like when I was having people back to back, I would still not send out that address until 15 minutes. Like, I'll send my address, like where to go, so you can get there, and then 15 minutes before your appointment, I'll be like, hey, just want to see where you're at, and they'll tell me how far they are, whatever, and then I'll send it. Also, a good way to have safety, to honestly prevent somebody who may have ill intentions. Direct your clients the whole way through your house. The more you direct, the more you talk, the less people have time to think. Like, you know how they tell us women, like, we need to be aware of our surroundings, looking the attacker in the eye. But that still stands true for you and your business as well. Like, you need to direct them the whole entire time. Let them know their name, say their name. People who have ill intentions, mind you, they're pretty shallow people to begin with. Obviously, that's why they have ill intention. The more that you show them, like, hey, like, I see you, I'm aware of what you're doing, this is where you need to be. So if you decide to go somewhere else, like, no, I'm already on it, I'm already aware, the safer it is for you. Alright guys, so those are my tips on how to be a successful home-based esthetician. This can also be applied to hairstylists, nail techs, and everything and above. If you guys have any other questions on how to be home-based, you guys can leave a comment down below, or you guys can go ahead and follow me on my Instagram and DM me. I do answer all of my DMs. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys next Sunday at 4 p.m. and yeah, bye guys.